fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live. Okay.
CwS. Get in, sit down, buckle up. CwS. Get in, sit down, buckle up. CwS.
Welcome back to Cruise with Steak. Grimsteak here, coming at you live on Gry America FM. It is Tuesday, September 1st, 2020. We have an incredible show for you guys tonight. Probably one of the best shows ever, because it's what we do. We just put out quality content. And normally I'd introduce Mr. James Cruz, but I don't know where the hell he is. He's MIA, so he's not here. So we also got, I don't know, he's not answering texts. He said one second, but he didn't answer my text. God damn it, James! You're off my favorites list on my text.
He died of COVID.
He's off the top 8.
He's off my top 8 now. Yes.
I unfriend you.
There he is. Oh man, this guy, and I know he's gonna have audio. So you know what? I'm just gonna pause it here for a minute and fill in a little time while we're at the beginning. You guys should subscribe to Patreon.com/cruisingwithsteak, where there is amazing content there weekly. We put out an additional show for $5 a month. You can get awesome content. Sometimes 2, sometimes longer than 2 hours of these shows. James, you here?
I am.
And joining me, I got Mr. James Cruz.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, man?
I just wanted to say I found out what Hot Mun Guy means.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Hot Mun Guy means sell 70 million copies. Or 70 billion units, sorry.
And we also got Mr. Jerry Cthulhu.
Hot Mun Guy.
Yeah.
And we got Mr. That Guy with us.
Yeah, and my third wife. Now, she was a stamp collector. Damn, I miss her.
we got Beast Trap Bill.
Hey guys, what's up? I love you.
Love you, Bill.
Love you, Bill.
And we got Flavortown.
Got hot young guys over here, baby. Hot young guys.
That's what I thought. That's what I was calling out.
That's right, man.
And we got Nicky the Dude.
Hey y'all, full moon energy. Didn't we
Fuck yeah,
just do
full moon.
this?
I feel like it. Let's do some
new moon.
channeling. Hell yeah. And we got Zach Hawkins.
Remember, folks, no matter where you go, there you are.
Man. And we have Suzanne.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Suzanne.
Hey.
And we got a special guest tonight joining us from the Gaslight Hour podcast. We have Dexter LaPaz.
Hey, good morning, folks.
Great morning. It's
Yes.
beautiful. Great morning, great night.
Thanks for coming, Dex.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Dex,
Great to be here.
yeah, dude, I
for
sent an
having me.
invite out to you. I've been following you on Twitter for a while, and you should post great stuff all day long. I really appreciate your Twitter feed, first and foremost.
Yeah, thank you. I
And,
think I've really started to find my niche on there lately, too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you're hitting gold on there. But one of the main things was, it was like, I don't remember why I reached out to you, but after an even bigger thing happened, because your town became ground zero for the potential civil war that the bullshit elites are trying to push on us.
Yeah, the race war powder keg. Someone
Yes.
was trying to light it here right downtown in beautiful, mildly rustic, but in fact an actual city, despite what people say, Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's just nuts. We've had protests every single night for going on 9 days now. And I use the word protest specifically because in addition to the rampant rioting that went on early, there have in fact been actual legitimate protests down
Right.
by the courthouse police station. They're in the same block, same area of people. I call it downtown because I refer to the lakefront area as downtown. Some other Kenosha residents refer as downtown to the area right behind this area. So there's some variability in nomenclature. But yeah, we really became ground zero. It started off Sunday of, well, I suppose technically 2 Sundays ago now.
Yeah,
2 Sundays have passed with a police shooting over by one of our, well, in the neighborhood of one of our high schools. And it's only escalated from there. Right away, the first night, there were already people gathering and protesting at the courthouse. Then Monday, buses full of people rather, started pouring in primarily from Chicago and Milwaukee. And then we started attracting people from all over the country. I went through the intake records for the jail here, and we're seeing addresses from as far away as Oregon, Washington, California, Kentucky.
Wow.
You know, the majority, like I said, are people
So
from...
this is an operation. Totally. It's got to be an operation. Like, I don't know. That's crazy. Like, how are they getting out there? Well, I mean, I guess
I run in a lot of politically anarchist circles, both left and right. So I'm exposed to a lot of libertarian and far liberty politics. So I see a lot of this happening. And I had initially been under the impression that some people have claimed that Antifa is fully decentralized. And I never really bought that. I was always under the impression that they were something more akin to left-wing Minutemen, was my understanding of how it operated. But now, having seen it work in my own town, which is, I must emphasize, not a left-wing stronghold either, I've come to the conclusion that there probably is some mid-level organization and management to it, like some of the more right-wing thinkers have been claiming all along. Now, I don't think there is a full-on top-down organization, but there are very clearly organizers and mob taskmasters for this that are getting paid from somewhere. I wouldn't comment any further. Well,
we could throw Soros there.
I think that he probably has next to nothing to do with it.
I would assume.
I wouldn't be surprised, however, if
Soros
he's paying
adjacent.
some people who are paying some people who are paying some people who are paying them. You know, and it depends on just how far back you think the chain of money goes legitimately before they're just throwing money at foundations and don't know where it's going.
A huge pyramid of fuckery. Totally.
Yeah. So buses full, vans full, caravans full of people show up here and just start torching and stealing shit. And that is so far removed from our culture that I knew immediately that they weren't people from here.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, definitely not the locals.
Right. The coasty elitist journalists, the enemy of the people, that is corporate news, wanted to say it was in dispute whether or not they were from here. And anyone you talked to in this area knew for a fact we weren't burning down our own town. Yeah. You know, I was sitting up on my porch with my gun and my police scanner every night, and I knew for a fact, hey, these people are too busy at their homes doing exactly what I'm doing to be out there burning their own city. So,
that guy, you got a question?
Yeah. So, do you, Dexter? Do you think this is it opportunistic that it happened in Kenosha, or was it planned that it was maybe specifically in Kenosha or one of several places, and why?
So, I certainly think that the nebulous TPTB, right? The powers that be were plotting something, but I don't think that it was necessarily slated to happen here. Okay. Because while this is a beautiful cross section and a great picture you can put on Middle America, it's not the most ideal city for that. You know, I think if they'd wanted to touch it off in a specific city, they probably would have been better off with somewhere like, say, a Madison, you know, where it's still undoubtedly a middle American city, but they have more of a local left-wing base with deeper roots that they could utilize as opposed to having to bring people in.
Well, wasn't it the whole, they were running that narrative a while ago with the whole Bernie bros saying, oh, we're going to burn Milwaukee to the ground during the convention. There was all that shit going on. I thought I remember that.
You know, and not even just Bernie bros, but there were literal tankies and actual communist organizations, like out and out communist organizations saying they were going to run some stuff like that, but that never materialized.
No, it didn't. But it was just weird because it was like a week
too. But
it was like a week right after the convention. They didn't even catch a riot
during the convention.
Isn't it funny that all the cities that all of these people live that are paying money for all of this is somehow weirdly none of the protests and riots are happening in those cities? Isn't that weird?
That is, it's interesting.
They're just happening in random other cities.
Yeah, you know, and there's a lot of emergent organization that can go into that, but that explanation, especially that neoliberals love so much, can only go so far. Well, you know, at the end of the day, someone actually has to have an idea and activate it. And I think that that's a big thing in conspiracy culture in particular that people need to recognize. You know, a conspiracy does not have to be everyone in a given organization. Conspiracy is created by people with the power, the wealth, the skills, and the network to activate the actual powers of the levers of power to their own ends.
Mhm.
You know, it's not about the entire State Department or the entire FBI. It's about one dude with enough leverage
Yeah,
on a
there's
subset of
dirty
actors to make
actors.
their will manifest.
Mm-hmm.
But you got that guy.
Everywhere.
So other than the actual, well, I say actual, but other than the trigger event that actually caused this, that we think of as having triggered this, what makes this work for Kenosha specifically? I mean, why does it work in Kenosha, not someplace else?
Well, so I think the nice thing there too is, well, nice from their perspective, is the fact that we are close to so many other left-wing epicenters that you can get actors here in a hurry when you need to deploy them. You know, a lot of towns are already rioted out.
Yeah.
Minneapolis has been
We're
worked
tired.
over. Seattle has been worked over. Portland and Chicago have been worked over.
Yep.
But, you know, there's this little place an hour away from two of those towns. You can ship some people down there. They haven't been touched up yet. So if you've got the energy to make this happen, but no good targets left, just move them somewhere close. And I
Middle
think
America,
from
easy
that-
reach from Chicago, and
Yeah, we are exactly equidistant between the cities of Milwaukee and Chicago. Both are just under an hour away, depending on how much traffic you catch going necessarily. So, you know, it's easy enough to get people here in a hurry, but just far enough away you don't have to keep damaging those cities.
My biggest question right now, you see the Trump campaign focusing so much on these riots and saying shit like, "Oh, do you want this shit? You know, is this making you terrible?" It almost like everybody's, "Oh, these are left-wing ops." Like, it wouldn't surprise me if this is an entire right-wing op, like, to send the protesters in. Like, this.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
They're
you,
all
Suzanne.
in
Surprise me
together.
in the least.
Yeah, I mean that's what
the
it is.
CNP, the CFR,
Yeah.
The lead is elite.
Yeah.
two sides of the same fucking coin.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, two wings of the same bird.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yep.
Phrase it.
Totally.
Birds aren't real, so don't matter.
Yeah, birds aren't real. I mean, that's true. Fuck no. Neither are dinosaurs.
But seriously,
Dinosaurs, those
That
are
is
fake
exactly
as
what's
hell.
happening.
Those are fake as hell. I listened to your dinosaurs are fake episode
So did
today.
I.
Did you really?
Oh, hell yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had a lot of fun with that one. The guy
it
who
was great.
guested with me is not on. He's not on Twitter much anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But Steppy, he's a real gem. I love that dude.
That was good. That's such a classic one. We had an episode titled "Dinosaurs Aren't Real." I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was like one of the first
bullshit.
episodes I was on, I think.
Yeah, that has
almost
some-
exactly a year ago,
Yeah.
I think.
It is, man. Show me the proof. But yeah, that's a shit show. What's going on? So it seems like
So
Things-
is this
things-
implying
have
that this
things-
was set up to begin? Like, was this like even up to the like police incident and the shooting incident? Like, was all how far would you personally be willing to take? How much this was pre-planned?
Well, to go back to my original theory about Antifa being closer to Minutemen than anything else, I think
Yeah.
that component of it still kind of works in that not just them, but certain right-wing groups too and certain task forces are all very quickly deployable. So I think it was an opportunistic target. And as soon as they heard what was popping off, they knew they'd be able to use
everybody's
that.
just on
this
Twitter.
Is the go one.
Yeah,
Get the
they're on
go
Twitter
teams there.
looking for the new fucking shooting to the new outrage that they could go to and fight at. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. They
Absolutely.
want this country completely divided, and they're succeeding in it right now. It's ridiculous.
they killed some guy in LA
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, it was either today or last night or something,
Cop
or
shot a
yesterday.
black
Yeah,
guy.
It was
Yeah,
last
yesterday.
night.
yeah, it was a
Well,
Mexican. It was a
Okay,
brown cop.
yesterday. Were there riots and did they burn LA? No, I went to listen to the scanner, and the top one was still Chicago. It wasn't LA. There was nothing in LA.
Yeah, that got no traction.
Well, according to social media, there are protests beginning there. I just don't think they've turned riotous yet.
Give it another day or two.
Because that's
Well,
where
and
all
that's the
those
thing,
rich
too,
people
but-
live, and all the people in the media live there. So they're
So
not gonna
how
riot
many
there.
how many people are being shot by the cops every day that we never hear anything about?
That's been happening for years. Like, honestly, like before there were cell phones, that shit is just like Ferguson was the thing that kind of brought it into the light. It was the cop shooting shit, and that was when everybody
So
had a cell
this is-
phone.
These are opportunistic things
Yeah,
that are
100%.
happening then.
100%, and it's the outrage, and it's just culture behind it. And I don't know, it's
So
all
there-
it's
There is though I mean, there's a certain amount of, I mean, the cops end up shooting at a lot of people that are unarmed. I mean, without question. And I know that cops end up shooting a lot of certain ethnic groups, but it's not unheard of, and more unarmed people end up getting shot that are not part of those ethnic groups.
Yeah, people get shot all the time. The thing that pisses me off the most is when I hear a group that I don't particularly agree with talk about abolishing the police, because I'm totally on board with abolishing the police. Get them the fuck out of here. But I don't know about all that other stuff.
Anon Kuhn says the LA one drew a gun on cops.
Oh, there you go.
Well, they also wanted to say that the victim of the shooting here was going for a gun too.
Yeah.
And all they ever found was a knife somewhere in his car.
Mm-hmm.
And they claim that he had the knife the whole time, and that's what provoked the incident. But that part is, depending on which video you want to watch, you have proof of it or you don't. And that's just furthering the dialectical phenomenon of this, where each side is running their own independent problem reaction solution to this.
Yeah.
The cycles that used to be contained to the halls of power are now, they're not out of control, but they need to be managed in a far different manner than they used to be.
I think if you're afraid, you ought to not be a cop. I mean, if you're really that twitchy.
Yeah, dude, 7 bullets. That dude, how you take 7 just unloading? You just knee-jerk unloading. That's insane.
Pat Militic makes a great point, man. Equality legislation has put people in there that cannot take care of themselves. He trains cops because he wants to, not for a living or nothing, just because he's a UFC Hall of Famer.
Yep.
And there's so many. I've trained with cops trying to learn kettlebells 10 years ago. The first 2 people that peeled off a wall which means like back strength, hamstring strength, and stuff like that, were the cops. But they were hired because they fit a profile.
Damn. Yeah. I don't know.
There's where you start if you're looking for solutions, man. I mean, you got to, people that can't take care of themselves are going to pull a gun. They are.
Yeah, and the other side of that same coin though is that if they can take care of themselves well, they're almost a more competent occupying army. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like there's no good answer to this.
We're gonna have these trained military. Yeah, exactly.
It's why we should privatize security.
A long time ago, people used to organize in not really militias, but they used to organize as groups of citizens and patrol places and deal with
neighborhood watch.
Like 300 years ago, apparently they would soldiers would just show up at your house and just start sleeping in it.
Well, that was a different story.
50 people roll up on your farm and they're like, "We're staying here now."
Kill your pigs.
They kill all your pigs and fucking eat all your shit. Fuck your wife.
Impregnate your wife.
I've seen it. It was a whole other story.
I've seen it.
Like this country, this
Pitt did it.
This society has had hundreds and hundreds of years of the same fucking thing happening over and over again. And obviously, it's not exactly like it was, but I mean, you scale that up to the 2020 level, and they have APC, anti-personnel tanks and all kinds of crazy shit that they can use against us.
Yeah, where did those come from?
Yeah, dude. Well, it's because they built so fucking many.
They came from because the MIC is out of control everywhere. But
a war on drugs militarized the police. There you know.
Oh, they gave them big
and also
guns,
an
right?
endless war
and fight the war on drugs. So
and an endless war in the Middle East
and all that, man.
Take
all that. But yeah, they don't need M16s, but
Yeah, well, I mean that's. Go and look. It's really entertaining is to watch cartel shootout videos on YouTube because it literally looks like an 80s action movie. The kind of shit that those there are dudes with fully automatic. I mean everything, machine guns, and it's just across entire.
It runs out of the alley with a bazooka.
It literally looks like Call of Duty
popping up out of a minivan with a MAC-10.
It's insane.
As we smile and laugh.
So Dexter,
Jesus Christ,
Dexter, I want give me your take on the Kyle Rittenhouse situation.
Man, so this one's a hot button.
This is hot
is
as
the one
fuck.
that everyone wants.
Any
to
opinion
yell
you
and
got?
finger on the trigger.
Oh, okay.
Give me the
so
opinion, whatever you got. I don't care.
Here's my deal. I think that the shootings themselves were fully justified under self-defense doctrines, both under state law and, more importantly, under the moral principles involved. Now, that said, I think there were a long string of judgment failures that led to him being there in the first place. And I want to continue to address that just a little bit more before people jump in.
No, yeah.
He may have been a lifeguard here at the YMCA in Kenosha, but that's on the way opposite end of town from where he ended up. The idea that he was there with an organized group is mostly false from what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that he was literally tagging along with them more at their heels than as a part of it. And the fact that he was, even up here at all, what a more sensible person would have just called
Gone
into
home?
work and stayed away.
Yeah, just gone
And
home.
consistent with what I'm hearing about this guy's background too. But there's already been such a push to martyr him.
Yeah. Oh
by
my
the
God, it's
right wing.
insane. It is
And
Are we
insane.
talking
my
about
own-
Blake or Rittenhouse?
No, Rittenhouse, Jerry.
About
Yes.
Rittenhouse. But
Yeah.
Blake too, for that matter. And this
Yeah.
is what I was talking about: divergent narratives. And now, all of that being said, too, something that's really bothering me is a lot of people are talking about how he only lived half an hour away. He was only over in Antioch, Illinois. But I would just like to point out to all of these people that, times and distances, they're a little bit different for everyone. That's really not so far. A lot of people do commute those kinds of distances to work, but no one on this earth, or I should say, no one in the town of Kenosha, would consider someone from Antioch a local. They might be here a lot. They might spend a lot of time here, but they're not from Kenosha if they're from Antioch.
Yeah.
So, again, my whole point is, yeah, he was justified in the shoots. And yeah, maybe the people he managed to nail might have
deserved it. Yes.
Yeah, might have deserved it. But again, there was a long string of decision-based failures that led to him being
Totally.
here. So,
Exactly.
And I'll repeat for folks that I will tell you straight up, if I am fighting whatever mechanism I'm using to fight, if I'm fighting, that means that I've fucked up twice. I've failed to avoid it and I've failed to escape it.
Yeah.
And this doesn't make me a hero if I win. It makes me a lucky dumbass.
yeah. And that's exactly the word I've been using for him on social media.
Yeah.
That
to
said,
the chagrin of my fellow right wingers.
that said, I absolutely will be a lucky dumbass if I find myself in that situation, even including my own error.
Yeah, it's like my old man used to always tell me, it's better to be lucky than good, right?
There you go.
You want to get in a gunfight, carry a gun. That's
Yeah. Well, and it's the old Johnny Cash tune, right? Don't take your guns to town.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Walk hard.
Walk hard.
Walk
Yes,
hard?
it's Dewey Cox. That's the old Dewey Cox tune. Hell yeah.
One of the best John C. Reilly movies ever, by the
Dude,
way.
it's great. It's a great
They're
movie.
all great.
Damn. So how was Trump coming into town today? Was there trumpets blaring? Was there doves flying? Was it just some godly event?
Was he dragging his right leg?
Oh, Jesus.
There were so many more roads blocked for him showing up than there were even during the worst of the actual.
Locked
They
down
shut
the
down
entire city.
probably. Well, they shut down probably a good upwards of 20-30% of our main roads.
Damn. Was there any
Yeah, it was
attempted
big.
protests at all? Anything
There
going
were
on
people
there?
lining the barricades, yeah.
Damn.
But,
Yelling
that
or
was-
cheering?
A little bit of both, depending on
Okay.
which area of it they were at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And, as far as that other rumor you just referenced about him going around, I'm not necessarily sure he might have stroked out. But at the same time, even if it's 98% sure he didn't, there's still the 2% chance in there that, what if we're having a repeat Woodrow Wilson thing going on? So I'm mostly dismissing it and keeping, half an ear open for whether or not his advisors gain a little bit more power here out of nowhere.
I think if he's had a stroke that's affected him, that it's going to be real freaking obvious, and that the news media won't let it go.
Yeah, there was the dragging leg, which I mean could have been anything. His foot could have fell asleep. Or there was, and then there was also
Check
the
it out the
speech
meme channel for too long in the Discord.
Yeah,
Just let
He
it go.
could have had a boner. I mean, who knows?
Can you
That's true.
imagine being videotaped and scrutinized every little move?
Oh yeah,
you make?
they'd catch me do so much shit. They'd say this guy's retarded. He's completely
Right?
retarded. Yes,
Exactly.
Why is he just staring at that thing for so long, just in a daze? I don't understand. Yeah, I do dumb shit all the time.
I would only ever get nominated for Secretary of Dumbassery, and I would not qualify. I'm not stable enough.
Hell yeah. Damn. Woodrow Wilson. So what's your thoughts on that guy, Dexter?
I've
In other words, Grim doesn't know what you mean. Please elaborate.
Woodrow Wilson, he's a scumbag.
Well, he is an absolute scumbag.
He's a
the top
scumbag.
3 worst president we've ever had.
Yes, he is.
But really, what I was specifically referencing is that his presidency was on autopilot for like the last, 4 or 5 months of his reign.
Damn.
Because he stroked out so hard and his wife and doctor were literally hiding it from the public.
Well, under his presidency, that's when we got the Federal Reserve. Woodrow Wilson. That's when we got the Federal
Woodrow
Reserve.
Wilson.
Didn't he do a bunch of Israel fuckery to lay the groundwork for that?
He said he was Caesar.
He said he was Caesar. There you go.
Yes.
He was screening actual white supremacist films at the White House. He was trying to create the first UN. The League of Nations was his pet project.
Yeah.
He was he was basically the first real New World Order president.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly the right way to put it, because he was also a massive Anglophile in his own right. He was obsessed with the British monarchy and the British world order. And, I think he probably very intentionally was trying to set the U.S. up to usurp the British Empire. I had a shitpost tweet about it, but the more I thought about it after tweeting it, the more serious I got to be thinking. We know that not necessarily he himself, but many of his associates were Freemasons, and we know a lot of their inclinations and tendencies. And I almost wonder if the U.S. intervention in World War I wasn't to prop up the British, but to replace them. And, it was sort of like an international diplomatic killing of the king ritual.
I got a quote from Woodrow. The government, which is designed for the people, has got into the hands of the bosses of their employees. The special interests, an invisible empire has been set up above the forms of democracy.
Damn.
Yeah, and by that they mean literally him and his buddies, like Colonel House.
Right.
It's a KKK reference right there in the speech you just read.
Yeah.
Invisible Empire.
Invisible empire.
Keep in mind, Wilson's Freemason friends were the same ones who most likely designed all of the world's expos and fairs during the early 1900s.
God damn.
I thought that was the Tartarians.
Well, somebody put their name on designing all of those.
Dexter, what do you think of Tartaria? I know you deep you gotta know about Tartaria.
Yeah, I've got a width of knowledge about a lot of topics that's almost unparalleled, and a depth on a lot of things that ranges from kiddie pool to straight off the deep end, depending on what it is.
Hell yeah.
As far as Tartaria goes, I am a firm believer in ancient civilizations. I'm a firm believer in fallen civilizations, and I am a firm believer in the idea that all of history is literally a lie, and we have little to no way to figure out what the actual truth of events is.
Beautiful.
Now, as far as Tartaria itself specifically goes, I find a lot of the sort of architectural arguments for it to be mildly persuasive, like, oh, why on earth is this 4 stories deep? That's not just a basement sort of thing.
Flavortown's getting a boner right now.
Flavor is so wet right now.
I'll let him keep going. I don't need to say anything.
So
I don't need to say anything.
I find the chronology of the argument for it to be a little disheartening. And I think a lot of it probably does emerge from poor understandings of just how the Russian nation state developed. But once you get to the actual connections with Napoleon as well, things start to become a little more plausible again. So I'm certainly open to it. And just for my own desire for things to be as weird as possible,
Yes.
I am totally in favor of it. But I need just a little bit more evidence before I'm fully on board with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robert Sefferer writes it on the map up there when he talks about RH negative blood on one of his videos. That
Oh,
sold
man.
me, man. Yeah. I see
Yeah.
that he's an anthropologist, so it's got to be right.
So the problem with that then though becomes how could it be purely Tartarian when the Basque civilization also has an immense concentration of Rh negative blood, and they've been isolated in the mountains of the Pyrenees for untold millennia. You know,
Maybe they're crypto Tartarians.
Back when they left Tartaria, yeah,
think about it.
They left there and got stranded in the
again,
mountains.
that comes to the scaling issues of the timeline, though.
Wow.
You know, if that were one of our true father civilizations in Tartaria, then how long ago would it have had to have been established, and when was the collapse real? Because I think the pseudo consensus on it is that the collapse was Napoleon's liberation of the Russians from them. But if that's the case, then when did it start? Is it post-Atlantean? Does it run parallel with Atlantis? And how could any civilization, regardless of their technological advancements, go on for that long? You know, think about the mightiest empires in history, and most of them can barely manage a single millennia, and that's being generous to a lot of them. So, you know, I think there's some time scaling issues too, which is, again, part of my hesitation.
I think you're I think you're pretty accurate on that. Other than I will say that if I had to make a guess, I mean they've been talking about the Scythians for a lot longer than they were talking about them as Tartarians.
I am so glad you brought that up, actually, because I think me and some buddies have colloquially called it the Scythian connection. And whether or not those peoples were the Tartarians, I think that the fact that we know virtually nothing about them, despite knowing that they ran a good percentage of the world for quite a good portion of time, makes me really curious about why we don't know about them and what they developed into.
I think it's pretty clear that it's more just history having cataclysms that we don't really reset much real history from. So a lot of it's copies of copies of copies. So we really don't know what the fuck we're working with, and that's why all the timelines are fucked up.
Yeah,
is because a lot of it is just repeated concepts extended out to thousands of years. Like
sure.
the same three things. You know, they take one king and copy and paste it, and all of a sudden you accidentally have an extra 300 years here or 400 years here. So it's almost a complete waste of time to try to set a timeline to any history.
Well, and that's the real problem, again, I want to say with the Scythians specifically, because consensus mainstream archaeology has their absolute final collapse as a people around the same time Western Rome fell for good in 300-400. But the problem is that I don't know if any of you have ever examined the genealogy of George Washington, right? One of my Twitter followers sent to me a book about his genealogy that was written after his death. It was written actually in the late 1800s. But this genealogy of Washington and the Washington family takes him back all the way to the nobility of Denmark, way back in the Viking era. And even further than that, it goes back to establish the roots of the Danish kings in Odin himself. Now, the reason I bring this up and the relevance of it is because Odin was not treated as a divine figure in this genealogical text, but rather he was spoken about as a migratory Scythian king who settled in Denmark and founded the royal bloodlines that would become the Danish Empire, Scandinavia. So that, again, is more timeline fuckery. You know, pardon my language. I don't know what the filters are.
Absolutely none whatsoever.
Yeah, watch your goddamn mouth.
Filters? What filters?
Yeah, so I just think
I can
got
trace
some
my
weird relevancy
heritage.
there.
I can trace my heritage to like 900.
Yeah, but how many were just dirty orphans?
How old
that
are
just
you?
stole your
Wait.
that stole that family
None.
name? No, come
Suzanne's
on.
an
None.
RH negative, like
Yeah.
royal bloodline.
Oh, that's
Rothschild bloodline, right?
Well, we go through the houses of Kent and all that. You know, I think most people probably do.
Yeah, I like Superman.
I mean, if you get
Trace
far
it.
enough back, you can take almost
Yeah.
anyone's bloodline to nobility at one point, because at a certain point in
Exactly.
time, those were the families that were most able to breed and spread out.
Or everyone's just related to Genghis Khan or some shit.
Dude,
Yeah,
Adam
I
and
was
Eve. We all came from
The
Adam and
story.
Eve.
Or should I
Queen and
say
Spread.
should I say George Cohen?
The con.
What?
Oh yeah. Did we talk about that? There was a takedown of Tartaria that this blogger released a couple of weeks ago, or a month or two ago, and his thing was that everything is Jews, like everything is
Everything.
like he'll go on for 25 pages where he'll just connect people to Jewish families. It's very, and he did it for Tartaria by saying that Genghis Khan and George Cohen are essentially the same name.
Okay.
That's a little absurd.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not
here's the
sure
thing.
I'm buying that.
No, absolutely not. And nor should you. This guy, this is a dude. His name's Miles Mathis. He's a blogger that's been like around for a while, conspiracy guy, and he has actually had some interesting research. But it's clearly it's got to be just a bunch of dudes in England, like MI6 guys that are pretending to be this guy. Like there's some kind of operation that they're running. It's very clear. I'll just say that right now. If anyone goes and looks into it, the reason you look into it is to be like, I wonder what spooky intelligence agencies think about conspiracy theories. Like they'll sprinkle in a couple of things that might be true. Like, the Manson murder was probably a framed, completely faked event. There was no.
So
I know it.
Which Manson murder? Are you talking about the Helter Skelter murders?
Essentially.
Sharon Tate?
I believe his claim is that Roman Polanski essentially directed the entire event.
Holy shit.
Oh, this
So,
guy's batshit crazy.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys feel here about Peter Levenda, but he's a guy that I'm actually willing to give his research a fair amount of credibility. And he's had some really wild stuff to say about Manson that I actually find pretty compelling, well put together in at least that aspect. And his idea that Manson was, in fact, an intelligence operation that got out of hand, I think is probably closer to the mark than any other theory I've heard about Manson.
Oh,
yet.
totally.
His
I
Lovecraft research is killer too.
Yeah,
He's a good musician, also.
Levenda?
Singer, songwriter.
I don't know about that.
I hadn't
man. I
even
don't know
heard
about
about
that.
his music.
He wrote a song that the Beach
Peter
Boys
Lavenda
that he
has
sued the
music.
Beach Boys for.
No,
Manson
We're
wrote
talking about
one
two different
song.
people.
Oh, you're talking about Manson. Okay, God, James.
Yeah,
we're all
Manson.
talking, we're all
Lavenda
talking
didn't
about
write shit.
No,
we're talking
he's
about
thinking
what
of
Levenda
Manson.
said about Manson.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Hell
Lavenda
yeah.
does good.
But you're
research.
right, James.
Yeah, you are. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
he did write that song.
He
know,
did
that-
write a song. Yeah.
That's that whole Dave McGowan thing about
Yeah.
Laurel Canyon. You
Yeah.
got
Yeah, Laurel Canyon
Jim
shit.
Morrison, Charles Manson.
Yeah, but then also you have that
Crosby,
other
Stills,
side
Nash.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
so that's the problem too, right? Though that whole entire era of Americana, of American history, was birthed literally straight out of military intelligence.
Yep.
Not
Oh.
one thing that happened out there for a good 2.5, 3 decades was organic.
Mhm.
UFOs.
Manson
think-
spent more than half his life incarcerated, man, before they turned him loose out there.
I would,
Yeah,
you know,
I
and
would
not just
argue-
incarcerated, but he was incarcerated. I would also like to say at one point near Cahokia, which, as
Nice.
I'm sure you all know, Cahokia has significant status in the mound research community for good reason. It's the largest mound area in North America.
But I
So-
would even say that the MK Ultra program, whatever it was, the CIA DoD thing that sprung up in Laurel Canyon was just an extension of the MI5 Beatles incarnation.
So now my counter argument to that, though, is that, it's basic bitch conspiracy research to take it back to paperclip. But I want to take it back even further than that, because we know that the US government itself, even before it got the shot in the arm from stealing Nazi projects, was also already independently involved in mind control projects going back as far as the late 20s. And now how efficacious those were is obviously up for debate. They couldn't have made too much progress, or we would have seen a lot of technologies roll out sooner than they did. But, I think the idea that the British were using the CIA as an extension of themselves for those sort of things is, I don't know. If you've got some evidence to offer up, I'd love to hear it, but I'm not quite.
Yeah, let's talk about the Jews here.
No, I don't have any evidence. It's just all conjecture and speculation. I'm just throwing out wild conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we have hot takes. We do a lot of hot takes here.
No, I would turn to the whole Paul is dead argument.
Paul is dead.
That's an
Yeah,
interesting
so
one.
that's
That McCartney died and he was replaced.
Yeah,
and
he was replaced.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff on it. A lot of backwards listening to albums and stuff.
the White Album in particular.
Shit, yeah.
is,
Yes.
right?
Right. Well, Sergeant Pepper's is full of it too. You look at the cover of it, and they're pronouncing over his head with a hand Buddhist symbols for death.
I mean, you gotta do something when it's such shitty music.
Damn,
Hey, man.
I'm a Stones fan myself.
I'm with you.
Damn.
You got to give McCartney a little respect. I mean,
the
he stopped
Beatles.
4 bullets that
Oh, I
could have
heard-
hit someone a lot more and less irritating.
I heard you like music. You ever heard of this band called the Beatles?
Did you know that Paul McCartney was in a band before he had wings?
No way.
It was a band
Dude,
on
totally.
the run, right?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that said, though, I do think that there are still some extremely deep links to the entire British Empire lurking beneath the surface of whatever we have going on here in America today. I'm not saying that we're still a direct vassal of them, like some people allege, but, there's no disputing that the Anglosphere has woven itself extremely tightly.
Oh, yeah. The direct importation of music such as the Beatles, the Doors, etc., etc. Just a subtle cultural influencing that went on over however many decades.
Well, why the fuck
Maybe
do we
not so
give?
subtle.
Why do we care so much about the royal wedding when it fucking happens here? Why is it all over the news and shit? Like, why should America give a shit about that?
Who
Stuff
cares about
like
the
that
royal
happens.
wedding?
Well,
I'm gonna
there's
joke
a
about
portion of
Princess
America
Di,
that
but I might
doesn't
save
give a
it.
single
Well,
hoot. but-
there's a large portion, but the fact that the media cares so much about it, that's the thing.
But the media cares so much about everything that's bullshit.
They do, but who runs the media is who's trying to manipulate us. So you have to
Right,
wonder
it's
why
a giant
are they
gaslighting
putting...
propaganda
Yeah,
machine.
it is. Yes, it is. All of it.
It
So speaking of
literally is,
gaslighting, what is where is the podcast that you are normally a host of there again, Dix? Just for our
Yeah.
listeners that may not be familiar.
So check me out primarily at the Gaslight Hour. It's hosted on Libsyn. We don't have a dedicated website to it, so just go to our thegaslighthour.libsyn.com and you'll find it there. I've
Drop
also
the link
done
in chats, by the way.
Yeah, thank you
Nice.
so much. I've also done guest appearances all over the place, primarily on the libertarian fringe shows when they want to get weird instead of screaming at each other endlessly about the news. So you can catch me on other places like the Friends Against Government. A big
Oh,
one.
the
Dude,
Fagcast.
dude, we had Carr
Yeah.
on. We had Carr on a
Carr's
long
awesome.
time ago.
Yeah.
a
Yeah, I
while
am
ago,
their I am their single most recurring guest. I'm real
Oh,
tight
right
with
on.
all of those guys. Love them to death.
Yeah, dude, their Twitter accounts are amazing too. Bird and Carr,
Good
just,
people.
dude. Bird and Carr and just all of it's great. I need to listen to their podcast more though.
I found that.
I just love following
day.
everybody on Twitter.
Yeah, I found them one day on Spotify out of all places, and yeah, like somebody I had mentioned it on the show, and someone reached out to them that I talked about them, and then like the next week he was on. It was awesome, or at least Carr was. Yeah,
Credit to Carr too, specifically for that. He is a golden-hearted gentleman, and he will go on just about anywhere that'll have him. He
it
is
was
a
fun.
great dude.
Yeah.
Can't say enough good stuff about
He's in the
either of
chat
them.
somewhere.
Yeah, he is in the chats. I tagged him
Yeah.
once in Discord not too long ago, and he answered me
Yeah.
back. So he's there. Car's around. Oh yeah. Damn. So Dex, talk to me about cryptids. What's because obviously your Twitter name is
like it.
Dogman Respecter. So you're all talk
Oh, there
about
you
some.
go.
Give me some Dogman facts.
Yeah, so that's actually a really fun one, and that was sort of so as a kid, as a wee child, I was obviously really into the Bigfoot stuff, the Loch Ness monster stuff. It was just this fanciful, fantastical ideation that hey, maybe something greater is out there, and then I kind of fell away from it.
Yep.
During
as
high
we do.
school.
Yes,
You sound like a
as-
young
yes,
Grimsteak.
I did that same shit, man. Yeah, I loved it when I was
So-
little, and then I fell off totally.
here's what sucked me back in. After I dropped out of college for financial reasons, I picked up a job doing corporate security, right? Just physical on-site security through a contractor. And I ended up working the graveyard shift. So I got back into it via Coast to Coast AM, the OG, the absolute OG.
The best. Yeah.
And then as it happened, I just started listening more and more. I started consuming more and more media. And then one night, it was a Halloween special. It must have been October of 2014, 2015. And I heard Linda Godfrey on Coast to Coast AM. And she's local to me. And she starts talking about the Dog Man. And I had no idea. And then she starts talking about the Beast of Bray Road, Southeast Wisconsin's local Dog Man. And it was just love and horror and fear at first sight. And, you know, since then I became just obsessed with this project. And it's still my primary go-to when I need something to really dig my teeth in and be looking at, because this phenomena, whatever the Dog Man's true nature may be, it is very clearly not the classic werewolf that a lot of people want to make it. And it's very clearly, there's, I think, more so than even Bigfoot in some respects. There is verifiably something going on with the Dog Man, and we just don't know what it is. And that's why it remains stuck in my craw, and it will forever until I actually find one myself.
Yeah, that never had a sighting? Man. Do you know anybody?
I have not yet.
You know anybody that has?
So this is kind of a third-hand tale here.
Yeah.
But let me relate it to you. Yeah.
Nice.
So while I was working that security job, one of my coworkers, his grandfather, a non-vet in his own right, a real salt of the earth farmer. This guy was no nonsense. He didn't give a hoot about politics. He didn't give a hoot about UFOs. He didn't care about anything but his cornfields.
He did his shit. Yeah.
Oh. And one night he's driving through his fields and he sees, quote unquote, something reared up on its hind legs, except it never went down on all fours. It just kept walking across the road between the fields he was driving through. And he talks about it being massively furry and not looking like a person, and it had shining eyes, and he had nothing more to say about the subject.
That sounds like
Dog Man. I never
Man.
once speculated about what it was. Guy didn't make a big deal about it. He just kept living his life. But, you know, my buddy, it stuck with him, and it stuck with me, because this is, again, you know, you have to take it on other people's honor, but he was not the kind of guy who made this stuff up because he just didn't care about this
he had
stuff.
no reason to. He wasn't searching for fame or on a TV spot or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the best part is it's what he saw is well within the roaming area of the Beast of Bray Road, of the Dog Man that we know locally. And I can say that because I've gone through, you know, those travel maps you can get for a state at a gas station and stuff.
Yeah.
I made it a multi-day project at one point to go through and take one of those maps from my state of Wisconsin and just start marking it up. And I demarcated it with every UFO sighting I could pull from MUFON and all the usual suspects everywhere in Wisconsin when been reported. And then I cross-referenced it with every Dog Man sighting I could find a record of in Wisconsin, anywhere on the internet. And then I cross-referenced it again with both mound sites and a handful of Catholic shrines we have here in Wisconsin. And man, I'm not saying there was a direct overlap, but when you start looking at the proximities and the locations of all this stuff, it's all happening in the same area.
Yeah.
That's when you have to go back to one of the OGs of our conspiracy research field, John Keel himself.
Hell yeah.
Because Keel, he loved his window areas, right? That's where that whole area of thought comes from. He was a disciple of Charles Fort himself, and he had his speculation that in some places the veil's just a little weak.
Totally.
And that's a tradition that goes back in shamanism, but he's the one who sort of brought it back into the American conspiracy conscience.
Well, it's anything, man. Like, why do they make why are certain spots holy spots, or like just yeah, there's energy in certain spots. Totally.
Yeah. So
Ley lines.
whether the dog man is ripping his way through the veil in one of these window areas, or it's a natural creature that somehow is just attracted to the energy in those spots, I'm relatively agnostic yet on his true nature, because again, I just don't know. But there's something to it. There's no way there's not. I have seen as many YouTube videos as anyone on this planet of bears walking around on their hind legs. And let me tell you, those videos look nothing like the way Dogman encounters are described. No actual wolf, regardless of how big a given wolf is, can walk on its hind legs like they do. So what are people seeing? Because there's no escaped apes running around Wisconsin. That's not the case either. There is something there, and we just don't know what it is yet.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm guessing it ain't fucking Yogi Bear.
No.
Yeah, it's absolutely not.
Well, what's your thoughts on how long has the Spray Road Beast been being reported?
Oh man.
So the first credibly reported sighting was over in Jefferson County in 1936.
Okay, so follow-up question. What is your take on tulpas?
I am extremely wary about tulpas.
Really?
Not because I don't think they are real, but because I think that the process of creating a tulpa is much more akin to feeding an egregore that shows you an aspect of its own existence than you are creating something yourself.
Oh, so you're just drawing something that's already there. I gotcha. Something like
Well,
that.
yeah, I think you're feeding something that then chooses to show itself to you in a way to get you to feed it more.
Well, just
it's like when you're feeding a stray pet.
Yeah. I just sometimes think like if all these sightings, or you have like lore that spans over 80 years of something, 90 years, it's like, but people keep seeing it. Is it just is it could it be like a thought form? Like, is it whatever it might be? Just everybody, because dude, I mean, I don't know. I'm a firm believer that the brain is a fucking incredibly powerful thing that we still have no idea what it is. Fuck Elon Musk is just Neuralink, but I mean, and we're just and I think that humans have the power. If enough people believe something, that's kind of how you shift reality. That's just
and
it could be.
So coming from the intensely religious background that I do, I firmly believe that the entities are already out there, and that some of them, being deceivers, are just choosing to show you a face more than we're making them in our own right. And my own thought process there is that, the Philip experiment proves pretty convincingly that people are capable of forcing things to manifest in a given place. But just my own personal contention is that they're more opening doors and things are walking through in a costume than they are creating them outright. And again, that's just a personal opinion. That's getting deep into different fields of esoterica, and there's no way to prove or disprove any of them.
No, exactly. It's all speculation. That's what I love the most. It's kind of just one of those, what feels good for you when you're talking about this shit.
Right.
Like, yes, I love it. Damn.
Yeah, but there's something to the dog, man. It's real. The sightings seem to come in cycles. So whether that means it's capable of long-term hibernation or what, I don't know. There was a while there from 2015 or so to 2018 or so when Dogman was all the rage, and there were sightings left, right, and center, not just here, but all over the country. And now it's kind of starting to fade.
Yeah, I think I remember
again,
that.
so.
Yeah, the Dogman rage did kick off. Yes.
What about the clown sightings?
Oh God, creepy clowns.
If I may be permitted a plug here.
Get in there. Dude, plug away.
Did just have a talk about this.
We just dropped an episode about the Phantom Clown craze on the Gaslight Hour.
Nice.
To speak to your audience, please go check it out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, if I can spoil just one aspect of it, because I don't want to give away the whole shebang, I think that there's something a lot more to it than my fellow co-hosts do. And I think they were dismissing it far too easily as viral marketing. I don't think that's the case, and they did.
Ooh, I felt it. You know, it did seem very viral marketing. At the same time, it was coming out. But I don't know.
and that's the contention.
Yeah,
I
it
would-
is. It
I
is.
would
That's
point
just a
to the
tricky
fact
one.
that whole thing kicked off before there was even an It film announced, though.
That is
Yeah,
true.
It definitely did.
But
I
that's the whole
my
point of
theory
viral
on it
marketing.
was that it was a AI generated story, like a
Just
seeded.
completely false.
Well,
Maybe people picked it up once it almost seemed like it was the result of an algorithm.
it almost seems like COVID. Do you know anybody that saw a creepy clown? Come on.
Well, so again, before we touch on that hot button issue, I'd like to point out that there's been a handful of COVID deaths in my extended social circle.
Okay, you haven't been around a lot. That was complete sarcasm and joke, Dexter. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's my bad then.
Oh man.
Oof.
I like Armoro's idea on who Dogman is.
Oh,
And that it's Randy Quaid.
It's Randy Quaid this entire time.
Just pops up.
wouldn't that be some shit?
Man, so I'd just like to throw one more thing there on the topic of the dog man, since you brought it back up. I think it's extremely interesting that you can trace sighting patterns through parts of America that were primarily settled by the French. And I don't know what that means. I, for the life of me, do not know what that means.
It was a curse about those damn frogs.
I mean, those French people were
Yeah.
kind of everywhere, all over this
Well,
country for a very long time. So
So
statistically speaking, it's likely.
There were concentrated sightings even in the colonial area of what they called at the time a werewolf in the French parts of Canada. And then there's been all the dogman sightings here in Wisconsin, classic French fur trader territory. But now the area with the third most sightings historically and second most in our current era is Louisiana, Cajun country.
Really?
And those people are the
Imagine.
direct descendants of the French fur traders who were here in the north.
What's their version of the they have a
The
version
Rougarou?
Rougarou. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a roller coaster named that in Cedar Point here for a little bit. The Rougarou.
So there's
With the sea Terry.
there's a French connection there, and I don't know what to make of it.
Interesting.
One of those
Well, that's Gene Hackman.
trademark scarlet threads, would you say?
Oh yes, I think that's exactly the correct word for it. And I just want to give a shout out to Conan Doyle for christening that through Sherlock Holmes, because I could not have found better material to appropriate for a brand component than his idea of the scarlet thread of murder running through it.
Oh yeah.
Yikes.
Damn. Well, I gave Felix a chance to show up. Looks like he's not. We didn't hear back from him in the text either.
Nope.
So yeah, he's Felix is probably busy doing some things. So shit, guys, we're at the halfway point. Let's do a little hate mail. God, I have so much fucking hate mail tonight.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Really?
Like we got hit hard. We got hit hard tonight. Let me do this.
Buckle up, buddies.
A lot of overseas email.
Everyone load another bowl. Just
Oh,
get
geez.
ready.
Exactly.
Already did, motherfucker.
Get all back into it. All right, so where's that hate mail jingle? Oh, I'm already on it. Hell yeah.
James Cruz and Grimsteak. James Cruz and Grimsteak. Hey man, a woo. GRIMSTAK Gmail, a woo. James Cruz and Grimsteak. Hey man, a woo.
All right, here comes some sweet ass hate mail. First one we got is from our man Booty Rooter, Old Faithful, coming through with the hate mail. He says, "Hello, Grimsteak. I'm writing to inform you that I have submitted information about CwS to the Department of Homeland Security. I said that CwS is training and recruitment is a training and recruitment podcast for Antifa. So they said they will be responding soon with a drone strike." Booty Rooter. So there we go. There's that Double Dungeon podcast. Check out Booty Rooter. Actually, I don't even know if he's posting that anymore. He's
Are you reading
fucking-
hate mail?
Yeah, we're doing hate mail, Jer. Jerry, I feel like this entire show you've been at least lagging 4 minutes behind the conversation. What's going on? Are you all right?
I'm fucking.
I didn't hear the jingle.
I didn't hear the jingle. I was pissing.
Oh, okay.
All right.
It only makes common sense.
This next one, I'm pretty sure it's from BB Guns. I don't want to dox his real name because it sent his real name in the email, but he said he sent a hate mail, and all it says is, requested hate, fuck you. So there we go. That's from BB Guns. Okay. Oh, man. This is from Anankun. And it says, did you know that in May 30th, 1990 edition of the Garfield comic strip, John Arbuckle drinks dog semen? It's true. Jim Davis says that it's a protein drink to help pregnant animals, but frankly, I think Jim Davis is a fucking liar. Fuck you, Jim. You can't even write a single adult joke without backtracking. I expected more out of the artistic integrity of my daily newspaper comic strips, Jim. Instead, you play me like this. Play me like a fool who doesn't know what dog semen is. Well, Jim, I know what dog semen is, and you can't hide it from me. that's an Ankun.
Jesus.
That is some obscure hate.
Oh, man. And Anankun sent a follow-up. Oh, my God. Nice. This is going to be a rough one. A follow-up hate mail. Let me save this picture because sent along. I'm pretty sure... Okay, if you're in the Discord chats, which if you're not in the fucking chats, why the hell are you not, people? Like, imagine listening to this show and not listening to it live, which actually hundreds of people do, so I don't understand how they do this. It doesn't make sense. But here's picture this tiny little robot girl that I just put in the chats. This is who's... Oh, if it posts. There it is. This is who's saying this in this email. I will end your life, career, and testicles. Don't talk to me like that. I came from the streets of the park, you dumb bitch. I got Peoplean gorillas, geese, pigeons, and frogs. These are people you don't want to mess with, okay? They will heck you up, stupid whore. They will steal your money, clothes, and significant other. Okay, don't talk shit about my grapes. My child is undergoing chemotherapy, and the last thing he wanted was some grapes. That was what he asked the Make-A-Wish Foundation to do, but you don't care. You don't care. All you care about is your 9-to-5 dead-end job, and... Jesus fucking Christ, what is this? Hold on. Your 9-to-5 dead-end job that will only feed into your miserable life so you can go home to your small house and small penis. So let me have some motherfucking grapes, Jerry, or I will take your spleen and eat it. Anankun, you're the devil, but you know I read every single fucking thing that's emailed to me.
I don't have any grapes.
All right. Oh, this is from Call Me Ian. Hello, douchebags. Call me Ian here. I fucking hate you. You're such a liar. I'd love to hang you. You're all the same to me. Oh shit. That's how bad you all suck, I guess. You make my brain resort to Godsmack? Anywho, the show's fucking horrible. I don't know or understand why I listen to it week after week. Probably just hoping I'll hear James read another poorly written internet article.
Nah.
I giggle in disgust when I hear Grimm's voice change because he hits his douche flute. When I hear Suzanne, I fear her anti-Semitism is going to rub off on me. James Cruz's incoherent ramblings always send me into a deep pit of despair. Jerry reminds me of my grandfather. No, don't touch me there. That guy's useless boomer information makes me want a better eugenics program for my country. I guess the only quasi-redeeming quality of the show are Felix's jams. All right, hope you bomb the show tonight. I'll be listening in a couple days.
Bomb out.
We're bombing. Hell yeah. Oh, damn. Sven.
Ooh.
We got one from Sven. Sven here. Hello, Grimsteak. Sven here. Last time right to show, Sven say he would kill dog and cat. Sven wants say Sven still only killed bird. 66 bird total. Sven did kick 2 cats in the butt. Not too hard. Cat's cute. And this is in huge bold caps. But Sven still want to kill dog and cat. But dog more. Sven hate dog. Sven want all dog on flat earth to be dead. They make noise so loud it hurts Sven ears. Sven want to smash all dog on dome above. The firmament. But Sven like hot dog, MIT spacey German moostards. What?
Moostard.
Sven confused why he like hot dog, but want to kill regular dog. It make no sense to Sven. So Sven go to Pain Cave to think why this is so. After a long time in Pain Cave, Sven remembered why he no like dog. Long time ago, Mother Sven had dog named Sven. Dog Sven was very bad dog. Sven had sister named Svendi. Svendi. Dog Sven would rub dog dick on Svendy's leg all the time. Very yuck. Dog Sven leave dog Sven sauce on Svendy pants all times. When Svendy sleep, dog Sven raped Svendy in butthole. Svendy was 18, so not creepy like that. But dog Sven left dog Sven sauce in Svendy butthole. But dog Sven sauce smell very bad mixed in butt. Very bad. This is why Sven hate dogs so much. Donkey Pain Cave for Sven let me remember teen angst. Anyway, Sven still want to kill dogs. Sven let cat live for now, but watch out. Sven can see you, but you can no see Sven. Medvords Fatorsers, Sven Dog Slayer. God damn, these hate mails are ridiculous.
He's gonna have to start paying for these spots.
This is what happens. This is what happens when I.
There's 2 hate mails about dogs. Semen.
Dog semen, yes.
That is actually true.
Jesus.
Showdown.
And we got one more, guys.
Oh my god, my sides hurt from laughing so hard at that.
K9 goo.
We got one more, guys. It's a short one though. Hello, this is Chang's boyfriend, Chang. Thank you for bad show. I go kiss Chang now. Bye.
It was good to hear from Shane.
Good to hear from Chang's boyfriend. That was Chang's boyfriend.
Oh, Chang's
Because we made him gay with the show.
That's right.
There's a
Jesus
lore here.
Christ. And that's hate mail, you guys. God damn.
Wow.
If you would like to send a hate mail to Cruise a Mistake to get read on the air, grimstake@gmail.com. Send it in. Anything you want. Hate mail, love mail, it doesn't matter. We'll read it. I'll read it. Whatever you say.
He'll read it.
Obviously, I will read it.
Read emojis live on
He
air.
hasn't shown you by now that he will read it.
Yes, I've read Ooey Ooh speak by a non-coon live on air. It's happened. Man. Fuck. So, what the fuck else is going on, you guys?
Oh, hey, you want a new theory I heard about the other day?
Yes, give me a theory.
Get some new takes.
Yes, give me a new theory.
How about Crater Earth?
Crater Earth.
Oh.
That's not new.
No, it's not.
It's concave Earth.
No. Okay.
Basically.
Talk to me about Crater Earth, Flavortown.
I watched 2 YouTube videos about it last night.
Well, then you're an expert. You're an expert right now, and it's the facts.
Yes.
You were like a Harvard grad on it.
Imagine you've watched almost 2 YouTube videos about a topic, and you feel highly qualified to instantly be able to not only
that's literally every other YouTube channel.
Real,
The most dangerous watch.
Everything is real.
Mm-hmm.
But Crater Earth and Armoro named the random YouTube channel in which this originated from is I can't even pronounce the name of this YouTube channel. Godji Vlamas. It's I think it's a German guy. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. All right. The Earth is in a crater. The moon is a reflection of the thing we live on, and we're in a crater of it, because when the sun's rays shine through the whatever atmosphere, it projects an image of what we're on out onto it, and it reflects back onto us.
Okay, I already equally hate and love this. Just keep giving it to me.
Sense.
I hate it because it's so stupid, but I love it because it's so stupid.
Yes.
So keep going.
The moon is a mirror? Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
I've wondered that if the moon wasn't a reflection of the Earth.
So the idea is that
I haven't.
We're in this like water-filled crater on this planet. The video that I watched pointed out the specific one.
Oh.
And
Puddle Earth theory.
Well, Waterworld, Levette does a lot of stuff on Waterworld.
Yeah. and the one of the videos I was watching was tying it into Disney World, and his claim that Disney World was a replica of the outer world planet that we lived on. It was like an expression, like an as above, so below, revealing of the crater Earth.
I thought it was just an expansion of a theme park. But
okay,
But you
so
never
what's the
know.
proof? What's the proofs for this? Like, what's
I just gave you all of them. I watched
All
two
the
YouTube
proofs.
videos.
Almost two whole videos.
Yeah.
Give you all the
Didn't
proofs.
get all 200 proofs that were just presented.
Yeah.
He's the Dark
Ooh,
Fauci of
videos.
Crater Earth, man. Do
what
not
this,
doubt it.
honestly, what this guy did, just to give you the spark notes, is he claims to have created a topography. He uses like a topography map of Earth or of the moon.
Guys, I
I'm
passed
sorry,
my
of the
drug
moon of
test
this
today.
crater. Oh, nice. That's
So
insane,
sorry.
by the way.
That's insane. As I'm ripping a fucking dab.
Roofing dabs.
But you found out you were pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this Crater Earth bullshit. I like it. It's spicy.
so-
apparently, Armor wants to go over it tomorrow on the
But I want to know
Patreon.
what mud flood has to do with this. I mean, how does that
I
fit
don't.
in?
I don't know if it does.
Dexter.
Crater Earth.
Yes.
Dexter, what do you think about mud floods and what do you think about Crater Earth?
Well, so removing all other judgments on the idea of Crater Earth, I think that if a person wanted to, they could find a pretty decent amount of tie-in with the Ikean framework of the holograph moon.
Oh,
So, anything else aside, I think there's at least context for them to draw on and from if they wanted to build a greater framework around it.
Ikean as in David Ike?
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Just clarifying. Damn.
We were getting close to him a while ago with the English royalty. I thought we were going reptilian then, but
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
right.
I mean, they're all
Getting
lizards. There's no
close.
doubt that there's fucking lizards running this shit. I mean,
Yeah.
there's never.
You've seen the Queen. I mean, look at
That's-
that.
Yeah, that's not a question. That reptilians are a thing. I've never doubted that in my life.
As far as the mud floods go, man, it's hard to argue against the possibility of that just being one of the civilization resets.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of firm evidence, I don't think,
Crew's
outside
mistake
of
is
the
pro
weird,
mud flood.
outside of the buried architecture, which again, that's just weird. I don't know how a person answers for that.
Yeah. Well, look what's going on in fucking China right now with the floods. Huge ass floods just taking out whole cities and shit. Or was happening maybe a week or two ago. I have no concept of time.
The Three Gorges Dam getting
Yeah.
mighty close to breaking. Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of very tentative evidence in favor of mass flooding, i.e., mud flooding, as one of the civilization resetters.
All right.
Or at least a few concentrated pockets of civilization, because I mean, it wasn't everywhere.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Not like the
Mainly,
flood. Not like the
no,
main flood, the global event flood.
yeah, mainly North America, Russia, lots of parts of Europe. That's about. I mean, there's not a ton of places, other places. So I don't know.
it always seems we're tilted toward the sun when the comets come in, man.
At a certain point, people just have to figure out like a sign. Like I hate to use the word scientific, but I mean there is a way to use that word where it actually means a good thing.
Right.
Like in the synthetic sense.
Or just like in a figure out your environment. Actually, take the time to figure out if something's real or not. Like you can figure out how soil quick accumulation happens and how quickly, and approximately what it's made of. Like if you just pointed resources at this stuff, you could figure it out pretty quickly. It's just nobody really has yet.
Sure. Well, and I'm preaching to the choir here, but that's the problem with all science in general, is that it's structurally for narrative reinforcement than it is any form of actual inquiry.
Exactly.
And the problem with say astrophysics, for instance, is that they have a standard model that they work from. So all theories are based on that model, and they don't really question the model anymore because it's, quote unquote, settled science. That's why they're still looking for dark matter and dark energy, which is
Doesn't
bullshit
exist.
things in
He spits all his theories.
Well, yeah.
What about the people who've lived on the same land since like the 1600s and nothing ever happened there?
They're slightly more above sea level.
Yay. Mystery. It's all a mystery. Concave Earth. Fucking crater
Space is
Earth.
fake. So why are we even fucking
Space
talking?
is
Exactly.
fake as fuck.
Jesus.
Need to try and get Lord
Louise and
Stephen Christ
Jerry.
in here sometime. That would be interesting.
And Nikki, the Earth doesn't fucking tilt, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I thought it was like a
does, man.
tilt.
Yeah, yes.
Doesn't
There's a
move.
tilt.
There's
to it.
no tilt. Come
No,
on.
it's a
There's a
total
tilt
tilt.
to it. That's why we get hit with comets all the time.
I
man.
don't get it with
People die.
comets.
Craters don't tilt. You
Yeah.
can't
Jerry,
tilt
I
in a
did
crater.
see a fireball. Jack and I saw a fireball one day. I don't
I've
know
seen
where
them
it came
I've
from or
seen,
what it is.
I've seen dozens of fireballs.
Dozens.
That was the first
Dozens.
one I ever saw. It was really close.
Was it a green one?
I was
seen a
surprised.
green
No, it was like yellow, like fire.
Hmm.
That was probably a plane.
I
No,
have
it
tried to
wasn't.
run to the other side when it did tilt, Jerry, but I've never been able to accomplish that. So you may be right.
If the Earth was spinning around 1,000 miles an hour, we'd be flying off like crazy.
Oh my
yeah.
God! Right?
Hell yeah.
Man, no.
That's-
As long
it
as you're
only
in the
makes
as
sense.
long as you're in the car.
Obviously.
I've seen people exit cars before. That's when the trouble comes in. Is when you exit.
This is true.
Because
This
it's
is true.
cumulative. If they're going 55, they're really going 1,055 miles an hour.
God damn. I mean, I can't even argue it
Right, the
because my
math
brain doesn't work.
Doesn't compute, so don't even try it.
It just doesn't even
Math
work.
doesn't work. It's just
Yeah, but like-
Doesn't work.
Yeah, but gravity.
It's all fake till you
Gravity.
hit that earth. and then
Gravity.
Let's talk about
starts
gravity.
taking
for a
hide
minute.
off.
God damn.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
So what I was
We all
saying
have
earlier.
like little magnets in our feet, and we automatically, because
I
the
ju-
Earth is a big magnet, and we just automatically like we're like those little
And what,
toys.
ride our unicorns?
With
We're
the
all
magnets in their
Lego people with magnet feet, Suzanne. That's what it
All
is.
feet bones are magnetic, and we
That's
just
why
didn't
the
realize
shoes
it.
hang up like that.
So now, how would that shit post of a theory interact with the idea of the body electric?
It's
That's what I'm talking
magnetic
about.
and electric. We're not
Yeah, that's what I'm
just
saying. And we know
electric. We're
the
magnetic as well.
interrelation between magnetic force and electric
Yeah.
force is basically two sides of the same coin. If you do any
Right.
amount of reading on electromagnetic energy, you realize
Hell yeah.
that they're literally the same thing.
The same
Exactly. Yes.
Hashtag
I got
electric
my-
universe.
shit. Electric
I got my
I've done
universe.
a ton of
Cthulhu.
research on this. Oh, I love Cthulhu.
It's the
Oh,
Lego
that's
one.
cool.
Remember that? You showed
I
me?
know the Lego Cthulhu.
God damn it. Focus, motherfucker.
It is. It looks really good.
Damn.
I
We gonna
love
talk, James, you gonna talk some electric universe? Hell
Oh
yeah.
man, no, I'm not.
No,
going
no,
to.
I'm not gonna.
No.
Yes, I'm not prepared.
I
for this.
can. I mean, if you want me to, if you want me to, I can.
Oh, it's not.
That's the sweetest. That's
No,
the sweetest thing
it
you've
did
ever
come
said,
through,
James.
Jared. It's totally cool.
Hell yeah.
Electric universe is
Dexter,
amazing.
Dexter, what do you think about electric universe theory?
I think that it's a great way. It's a good palate cleanser for the mind
It really is.
between more serious topics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they always state that with the electric universe that you have to let go of what you've been taught.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's a big part of it. So, it doesn't really think outside the realms. We are all electric beings, right?
Fuck yeah,
And-
we are, man. It's all energy.
Yeah, man. So it's all energy, and that travels throughout the cosmos. I love the theory that
It's the ether.
yes,
Ether theory. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just
There's the ether.
we had a chance to talk to Wall Thornhill, and that was fucking phenomenal. If you go way back in our archives, but yeah, and just talking with him, and we were talking about exploring the cosmos, and he's like, "Why do you even need a ship when you can just use your mind?" It was amazing, dude. I was like, it was fucking mind blowing, yeah, and
Spaceships are expensive.
yeah, it's just there's layers to it. There's lots of not layers, but like a little bit of crossover between different things I've heard, but like just on how everything's connected, right? So, and the same thing in the cosmos via this electrical connection.
There's ancient
Yeah,
cave paintings
think
like
my-
depicting that shit too.
Well, that is, yeah, that's the. Well, they had the theory that the Earth and Saturn like the alignment of planets was different at the time at one point. And imagine you take two magnets and you can't press them together, right? They're like polar opposites.
You got that force. Yeah.
So that's the way that how our planets work, because it's all like this electrical or magnetism, electrical, the like the
You got
force,
this, James.
the force spreads them apart.
Yeah.
But at one point, Saturn was closer. All these things were happening, and those things that were happening at that time were depicted in ancient cave art.
Yeah, if I can interject here just real quick,
yeah,
I don't want to step on your toes.
Dude, I can go way deep on it, but yeah, it's
But
hard to explain. I can't do it in 4 seconds. Yeah.
Well, I just want to point out that I think it's extremely useful for people who haven't settled on and need a broad framework to contextualize all of these things in. And in that, it's almost like a more secularized new age framework.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it is, because you can plug these pieces into it and you can connect them because it's like a frame, it's like the board for a Connect 4. And once you've got that, you can just start dropping pieces into it and they're going to line up. And,
you're spot on, dude, because like back in the day, oh man,
that was the only thing that made sense.
It's the only thing that made sense to me when out of all the theories of anything and everything, like, and that was like one of the first episodes of Grimerica I ever listened to, and was Wall on there. So it's Wall Thornhill and David Talbot created Project Thunderbolt. I think it's projectthunderbolts.info. If you go to that site, that'll fucking send you down not even rabbit holes. It's just
lots of information.
Yeah,
lots
a lot of information. It'll give you the whole spiel on it all. I mean, believe me, I've done it.
Assuming that site's still up. This was like 4 years ago.
Oh yeah,
it's still there.
Oh, the first time I ever did a podcast, I got invited on Lighting the Void with Joe Roop. And I did an entire show on the electric universe. So I'm definitely I definitely know what it is, and I definitely can go deep with you on it if you want. But it's just like it's really hard to explain in a nutshell. And it's sort of the grasp of it all is everything is connected.
It's 180. It's episode 185 on Grimerica. If you want,
there you go. Yeah,
it's like episode 7 or 8 on Cruising with Steak.
Yeah,
but we also got
Electric Universe is bogus theory.
Thunderbolts.info. It's Plasma Universe.
You know what it is the one cool thing about what's going on with that, and has always gone on with that, is that the research that's put into it isn't like gated, it's not it's like a big, I don't know, everybody,
open source.
It's open source. That's the word I'm looking for. So it's open source, so it's not depicted by like a university or what have you.
And Wall starts with, Jerry, that plasma is the most plentiful thing in the universe. So, I'd say he probably agrees with you a lot.
I just find it fascinating. I mean, it like when Grim was saying earlier about, or not even, sorry, Dexter was saying earlier about how like these, how it's like,
it's like a framework was the word I was using.
Yes, the framework. Yeah. So you have this framework, and then you can. It like you can just branch right off. It's the middle circle on your diorama or whatever, like we are positively charged beings, right? So, and that reaches out. So so does the earth, so does everything else, every single thing. And then in that aspect, like, I don't know how you can deny that what we are, so that part like stuck with me. And then just the layer upon layer of the things that we've gone into or talked about over the last decade, you know, like how they kind of go in line with that. You can pick and choose what you dislike or like about it, but like I just, as far as I know, we are all electrical beings for sure, and we are. And then this is we were talking, you know, about how you're grounded to the earth. Da da da. Yeah, I think there's something to it. This is home base, right? I don't know. Maybe that's all it is. But and then I like the idea of space travel via the mind.
Robert Schoch thinks electric universe theory helps them a lot in Egypt with explaining some of the anomalies there.
Well, if you want to go into anomalies in electric universe, that is insane. Like if you look at all the testing they've done, which is cool about the open source platform, all these different people are all involved with it, but so they'll do experiments with positive and negative and what would happen. And when I was talking a little bit earlier about the planet alignment, so at one point Mars was closer, or not Mars, Saturn was closer to the Earth, and when these polarities were changing. So there's lots of layers to this. Okay, we were talking earlier about dinosaurs, right? So at the time of, you know, the birth of our planet, these whatever version 8.0 at that point, right? Whatever being was on Earth. So there's dinosaurs, there's Neanderthal, you know, there's probably early humanoid type people at this. So when this during that time, okay, I'm trying to
You got this,
not
James.
go too crazy, but like so during that time, these planets were closer together. They started spreading apart because the magnetism, for whatever reason, I can't really remember why they got stronger, but Saturn started pulling away, and basically it attacked Mars, and Mars is the result of what happened to that, the Mars scar, via electrical discharge from this basically plasma. It's basically a massive lightning attack that just obliterated fucking Mars as it was pulling away. And what you saw, like if you look in the ancient cave art and stuff, you'll see all these crazy, I'll have to post all this stuff, but like I said, the easiest wealth of knowledge is just looking up Project Thunderbolts.info. Like they'll have all the imagery. You'll be like, fuck, I've seen that a million times. Like it's this weird looking stuff, but what the cave art was what they were seeing in the skies. Just like anybody at any point in time, like whatever your wealth of knowledge is only what's given to you at that time. So what they're seeing in the skies, some people all over the world at the same time were depicting this in cave art all over the entire planet, is what was going on in the skies. So they were seeing these crazy looking electrical node, like plasmic formations drifting off of Earth onto a different planet. And it's just
look at fucking Van Gogh's Starry Night and tell me that ain't some electric universe.
That was a burning city, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that was a city in flames.
There's a hieroglyph that ejaculates lightning bolts, man. Look, man. You've seen that before.
Okay, you know what? Okay, what I want to say during this entire segment, what's blown my mind the most is that spacejam.com is still a website from 1996.
Wow. Oh,
did you not know that? It's been around. It's great. It hits you. It hits you
It's
hard.
crazy. I just showed an apartment to a girl that was born in 1997.
That is fucked up, James.
And that's
Evict
when I
her
graduated
immediately.
high school.
Evict her. She's not gonna pay her rent.
Man.
Get this shit out of here.
There's
She's
a
a college
pandemic. Come on.
graduate.
God damn, what the fuck?
Which is crazy.
Why am I feel old as fuck right now.
Me
Anyway.
too. Believe me.
You know,
I
she
didn't even
has
know.
too many student loans to pay.
Electric
I didn't
Universe
even,
is sick.
I didn't even know. But back to that. Yeah,
Hell
man.
yeah.
I mean, that stuff was huge to me, man. It really resonated. I don't know about you, Dex. But
Yeah, I've listened to enough that I am left wondering more. It doesn't really fit with my pre-existing framework, but there's room for it too if I choose to get really into it, though.
Dude, it's weird. I mean, not weird, but it's electric.
Hell, it's electric.
I think even that kind of describes the perfect state or your emotional state and response when something really clicks with you and you find your true project, right? Something
really
goes through you
was,
like a
yeah.
shock. It's like, well, man, it's not quite an epiphany, but something similar.
No, man, that like for me, this is definitely what it was through all of this because I'm like, I've never seen a UFO, I've never seen a cryptid, I've never, but as far as in the fringe like community being into it for so long, like this was one of the main things. I guess I don't like the second I heard him start explaining it back in the day, like I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no way. And so it just added up a little bit more and more and more. Then I watched more and more and more whatever videos, read more and more stuff on it. Looked at the experiments.
As long as you watch at least 2 YouTube videos.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
it's like minimum 2 YouTube videos.
Minimum 2, and you're qualified.
Yeah, but how long were those YouTube videos?
Oh, for the
That's
Crater
true.
Earth ones, I think I spent maybe a total of about 20 minutes watching those videos.
Oh, 2 10-minute videos? You're a pro.
No, it was like one 25-minute video and one 13. I didn't watch all of either.
Well, I'd classify you as professional.
Well, one of them was they were both referencing each other, or one was referencing the other quite a bit. So you saw one, you saw them all.
Damn.
One of the first Electric Universe videos I saw was like a couple hours long, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they're all they're feature films and shit. Yeah, they're crazy. Yeah, like, but it's just I don't know. It only makes common sense to me, that we are all positively charged beings in the universe, and which is what we are. But like at the same time, the other stuff, I mean, also some of it's a little wild, like but like when you think of the starting point as that, then the exit point of that is it's unknown at this point. I mean, how far does it go? But like but the testing of the theory is open source. It's all there. It's all put out on their site. But like at the same time, like the theories of Mars and what happened to Mars and different planets and even the structure of our Earth. Look at the Grand Canyon. Look at different things like those. But maybe at one point that was all underwater, right? That could have been a giant undersea fucking, what is it? 60% of our planet's underwater.
Flood.
Yeah. So it's and basically they were talking about Mars as when he got electrocuted, for lack of better terms, all the matter got shot up out in the space and it turned into I don't know, possibly the rings of Saturn. It's just some weird shit, man. Like,
Sounds wild as hell.
Yeah, like, well,
I'll say that much.
But I think that's that story that I'm relating to that aspect of it. I think is a relation to cave art and possibly what they were seeing, but at the same time, it's not. I mean, it's kind of far fetched, right? Like,
well, even that
people
makes
write what
more
they know.
sense
People
than
paint what they know.
yeah,
And even that makes more sense than the nuclear war on Mars theory, though, right?
Oh,
Yes,
no.
I think so. Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, we talking about
You
like
know.
Marduk and all that shit?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's intense, right? Like,
They shit out of each other.
Do you think maybe that Saturn could have been a binary system with our sun, and
Definitely.
Sirius took over, and that's what happened?
well, the whole
asteroid
idea
belt
with
between us
Saturn
and Mars.
What was
were
Saturn? The
casualties
black
of that.
sun, right?
It was, yes, it was. It's
yeah,
a gas.
so-
It's a total gas planet now.
Now it is, but yeah. So I don't know.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Well,
I've smelt it. I know.
I
Man.
smelt it. I smelt the rings of.
Got that Farnsworth technology.
So yeah, the whole like Mars, the Mars scar thing, that just the idea of what happened to Mars, and like what there's I don't know, I guess decade after decade we'll find out more and more about Mars. I would assume so at this point, once Elon lands his Starship Trooper thing on it, or whatever you call it.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if there's a chance where we can sign up to be drop troopers, I'll be in the recruitment office the first day.
Yeah. Killing insectoids on Mars like they have.
Oh, dude, they're just gonna send you into a huge VR system and then pump you full of drugs, and it'd be insane.
Well, I mean, it worked out all right for Corey Good, right?
Same with Obama.
Oh, Corey Good.
Just don't take a lieutenant, man.
Becoming an astronaut is becoming an MK Ultra experiment.
Damn. You know what'd be awesome is if we were chatting this entire time and Dexter was just like, well, yeah, I'm full on Blue Avians, pro Corey Good.
Oh, yeah.
You're full, just all in, just cultist into Corey
Connected
Good.
Congress is real. Mr. Sala assured me of it himself.
Dr. Sala to you. And even if he was, we'd still welcome him in because you don't know.
No, but it's just,
I should say,
it would be hilarious.
Full disclosure, I did read one of his books, even if I didn't buy into it.
I mean, yeah, you got to research out there.
Sorry, whose book? I my headphones unplugged right when
Sala's book?
Oh, Sala. Michael Sala. So Michael Sala.
Whose book did you read, Dexter?
Yeah, Michael Sala's. It was his
Exopolitics.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, the very first one where he started peddling that.
Yeah,
talking about the JFK stuff, right? That was that one.
That was. Let me pull it up. I've got it on my Kindle.
Exopolitics. That was the first time I ever heard of a super soldier.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and this whole 20-year space marine thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He was the originator of that.
Which was Corey Good. But the original story was Corey Good.
No, it wasn't.
No, wait.
No, it was Sala's thing first.
Oh,
I thought.
No, I mean, I thought Sala presented Corey Good's story.
No,
but under a code name or like.
Corey Good showed up in.
It was like 14, 15 when he took off.
Something like that. He was in form for a while, and then David Wilcock discovered him and brought him.
We got that definitely took off, but
Sala joined the crew later.
Well, he joined that crew later.
Interesting.
Right. He's more with like Alfred Weber. Alfred Levermont Weber.
Yeah, the Sala book specifically that I was referencing was Insiders Reveal, the Secret Space Programs.
I wonder if this is the one I think he's I think he's like Hispanic. The super soldier. I wonder if that's that story where he was talking about fighting like praying mantis like beings and shit.
In a fighter plane over Mars or something.
And getting killed. Wow. Dude, being killed repeatedly.
That was
almost
Randy
Kramer. Okay. No,
yeah, I remember that story when it was big on the talk radio circuit for like 3 months and then disappeared.
Yeah.
Randy tells the story about when he got his head blown off and then had it printed back on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, some weird shit, dude. It's some crazy
Did any
stuff.
of this crap come up before video games and movies?
Yeah.
I mean,
fucking Grand Theft Auto. Death to all of us. Yeah.
Show me a story from before video games and movies. Put this stuff in
Suzanne
people's
just giving us all a
consciousnesses.
talking to about video
Story
games.
before
I
Roswell.
remember watching Starship Troopers. I don't remember you. I saw it.
When I heard that Randy Kramer story about getting his head blown off and 3D printed, all I could think about was Men in Black when they shoot Tony Shalhoub's head off.
Oh, when he shoots the cricket? Oh no, not the cricket.
He
but
shoots Tony Shalhoub, the guy who played Monk.
Yeah.
He was at store owner. He was like a greasy Mediterranean type.
Yeah.
And he shoots his head off and it grows back. And so Randy Kramer tells that story. I'm thinking, okay, he saw Men in Black.
I remember that whole I always saw the cool the first version of it. I think from what I remember was Corey Good's all of a sudden he started naming that dude's name Corey Good after like a year, or not even a year. I don't even remember how long it was. But then the Kramer one was crazy because it was even more in depth, and I remember walking down hallways with yellow lines on the floors and shit, and just his depth of knowledge of it all, and then all of a sudden 20 years you're teleported back to your original self,
and your memories are wiped except for these two oddly specific whistleblowers.
It's so weird, dude. It's so weird.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun,
Some may say it might just be bullshit.
Well, who would dare make such an accusation?
Some may say.
There's a lawsuit going on. Corey
Who
Good.
would dare run for president and say he was on Mars with Obama?
Oh,
you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say that Andy Basiago is in fact a national treasure and must be protected.
I love him.
Yes, that guy votes for him every election.
Every year he's a write-in on that guy's ballot.
Jerry, what do you know about this Corey Good lawsuit going on?
So Corey is suing Cliff High, CW Chanter, Gaia TV, Jay Widener, and a couple other people that I can't remember right now, for defamation and a bunch of bullshit charges. It's all, he hurt my feelings on Twitter kind of thing.
That's kind of what it sounds like.
I don't know how he can even get away with doing something like that when Nori had him on 5 times to tell the same exact story.
Yeah, Jimmy
no
Church
one's
too.
defaming him when he's the one who said all the stuff about himself.
I agree. I'm not saying it's valid or invalid. I'm just saying that's what's going on.
Yeah.
And
I suppose that's probably why we haven't been hearing from him lately too, I imagine.
Possibly. So they're moving into discovery in the trial, which should be interesting. And Cliff High's been pointing out all the things that Corey Good has stolen from his Alta reports, which are private, and used in his story, his quote unquote story. So
I did see Cliff High put out a tweet not too long ago today saying that he's countersuing Corey Good or something. What's going on? It's just YouTube shenanigans. It's these fucking people that are living in their fantasy land, just creating insane narratives. And they've drove themselves
clout chasers.
Yes, they've drove themselves insane. They are clout chasers. Absolutely.
The best part of this is that so the lawyer for Corey Good is I forget her name, something Yanaros. It's Teresa Yanaros's little sister.
I don't know who that is, Jerry. Context.
I don't know who that is either.
She used to be in the Blue Avian cult and she left.
Oh, okay. So just the lawyer is a Blue Avian cultist adjacent.
Who stayed.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
She's young and she keeps making procedural mistakes and shit like that, and her filings are getting kicked back. Anyway, CW is a lawyer, basically an ambulance chaser from New Jersey.
I could see CW being an ambulance chaser. He's got, ever since I've known that guy, I just get a scummy vibe from him. Just a scum vibe.
He's not scum.
I know, but that's just the vibe I get, Jerry. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Dude, he's that dude. They did a docu-series on Netflix where they go out at night. He's the paparazzi guy, right? He takes pictures of car crashes.
No, we're talking about CW Chanter.
I know.
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No shit. No, wait. Oh, okay. Never mind. You said
no,
YouTube.
He is really a lawyer in real life.
Flies out in his Dodge Charger to hit up the next car crash.
And he's basically an ambulance chaser.
Oh,
so
man,
it's like you're fighting a bulldog. Corey Good's fighting a bulldog. It's like
it's just stupid. It's all.
He's totally gonna lose with CW.
Yeah, the whole thing's gonna get thrown out, and it's just gonna be ridiculous. It's the whole thing.
3 motions for dismiss have already been filed.
Yeah.
Who's funding this? Who's funding chanters?
They're all
court
funding
fees?
themselves because they're fucking.
So what's funding them
It's
is their
just
freaking
like
book
another
sales.
screen of the,
The book
movie.
sales.
It
you
is.
know?
It's another screen of the movie. Exactly. There's a million
Of
fucking
this
screens
fucking
going on
stupid
right now.
movie that we all have to watch.
What's the problem? What happens
Yeah.
when everything that we look at is through a screen? Like literally all the outrage, everything that's going
exactly
on.
what's gonna happen?
I mean, except for you, Dex. I'm sorry you had this shit hit your hometown. But for most of us, it's all just
Yeah.
like I see it through an iPhone, like or on my computer screen. Like it's not in my everyday life. And it just and so many people are just fighting about it. And so many people are getting Facebook groups. I see people just their families are breaking up because they got a racist uncle or some shit, or some aunt is QAnon all of a sudden. It's crazy what is happening in this country. It's fucking nuts. I don't know how to fix it. Keep lifting the cruise with steak. Let's all just hug each other. Good vibes.
Hey,
Give
man.
some hugs. Shake some hands.
My
Say
granddaddy
hi.
pinched a waitress's ass. We had to disown him.
Let's just all play the original Xbox controllers.
Hell yeah,
in the
let's go
game
back
of
to
life.
Halo 1. Let's just go back to Halo 1.
LAN
It's sweeter
parties,
times.
just wait it all out.
God,
Sorry,
throw
it's the
it-
first
Can
time
we
I
just
jumped
go
in the
back to
chat.
that
Diablo
point?
2.
It's the first
Give
time
me
I
some
jumped in the
Diablo
chat
2.
in like 40 minutes, dude, and all I see is Xbox. I'm like, oh my god, like
There's just a
The chat-
millennial
chat has-
jerk off contest going
Chat
on. in
has
the
so
chat.
life, you know? Yes.
yes,
Damn.
people. By now, you should know. You should join the CWS chats.
Discord chats. It's in the show notes link.
It's boomer in the streets and millennial in the
in the
streets.
street.
That's where all the magic happens.
That's exactly what it is.
I gotta make a new logo.
Perfect.
Subtitle.
Damn. It's all just it's fucking wild.
It's so great.
Dexter, what do you think about before we wrap up tonight? Give me your thoughts on cryptocurrency? We're gonna go across it all.
Wow.
So, if I can sum it up in one quick phrase, I would say that I am pro Bitcoin and anti Bitcoiner, if that makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking zealots out there, or zealots, whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
that are just
I do have a small amount of Bitcoin myself, and there's a couple other crypto projects that I really believe in personally, like Augur, for example.
right.
You know, I think that before it becomes the revolutionary technology it has the potential to be, that people really do need to focus on adoption, and you can't do that if you spend all your time stacking.
That's the thing, man, because everybody's just, it's hodl, you know, just fucking hold on to that shit.
Yeah.
Nobody, like, it's not an actual currency. It seems more as like a, I don't know. It's
Bitcoin
weird.
is not a currency.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's the problem with it, though. You should be able to use it. Like, they need to be able to integrate it more.
You can use it. You can use it on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, back in March, I sat down a group of 5 of my friends. I bought $10 USD worth of Bitcoin, shared it out between them, set up wallets with them, and showed them how to use it.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether they actually will use it or not, I don't know. But, like, that's what you got to do, though. You got to put in the work to force adoption before it's going to be worth anything.
Well, dude, I've been seeing a lot of ATMs, or there's Bitcoin ATMs all over the place that I'm walking by.
Well, I'll just say not here.
Yeah.
You know, not here.
Yeah. Well, that even like I'm in Philly now, but I was in like Northwest Indiana, like kind of rural, by Chicago. But there was still there was a few Bitcoin ATMs. So I feel like it's starting to. It maybe who knows, man? Because honestly, right now our entire economy is a Ponzi scheme. Like it's just waiting to collapse. It's a giant bubble. Like I feel like it's ready to explode. So any alternative? I mean, Bill, you're stocking silver, aren't you? Shit's getting crazy.
Hell yeah, silver bullion.
Bill's here?
Yeah, dude, Bill's
I'm hiding in the weeds,
He's
man.
silently been hiding in the weeds over
see
there all
him,
night.
dude.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we need to
Old
think of an
Charlie Bill over
alternative.
there.
Because this shit, we're gonna look at. I feel like something 10 times worse than 2008's just right around the corner.
Damn.
You know, and I've been talking about that literally since January.
Yeah.
At the risk of sounding like a collapse cultist, and I promise I'm not. It's hard to see the signs that we're seeing and not think that something is right around the corner.
Yeah,
you know?
dude, it's a bubble right now. It's this insane Trump bubble that we're living in. Like, I mean, I love him for the shit posting and everything, but it just seems like things are just not real. It's a lot of fake numbers getting propped up right now.
Well, the
I mean, it
total
looks really
detachment
good,
of the
but
stock market from any actual market signal is just insane.
yeah, I mean, it's weird. I don't understand stonks or stocks or anything. I just feel I got this feeling in my loins that things are gonna be real shitty coming up.
Yeah,
here.
which is why I just revert back to Alex Jones. Buy some vitamins, buy some minerals, buy some water.
Well, beans, bullets, band-aids, water, and knowledge, because that's the one thing they can't take from you.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm on Suzanne's plan. I'm buying cigarettes and candy.
Hell yeah.
The shit because that's gonna be worth the most.
People are gonna be craving that shit. Yeah, you'd be a god. You stock up with smokes.
Hey, motherfucker, I got them.
Hell
You know
yeah.
how easy it is to make sake from fucking rice?
M&Ms, dog.
Yeah, make some sake,
And
booze.
alcohol.
I mean, I'm kind of excited
Shit
for
that
the
people are gonna want.
Yeah, I'm excited
Well,
for
that's what I'm
post-apocalyptic
get.
economy. Let's do it.
Stock up a bunch of rice and water, you got sake.
Yes.
I've got a pound of dried cured tobacco here that I haven't broken into yet. That's
man.
still
There you go.
whole leaf.
So, what kind of tobacco you got there?
It's a Virginia flume cured
Virginia
American.
Slim.
Oh no, sorry,
Okay.
it's Canadian. It's a Canadian leaf.
Sure. I'm a little bit more of a Perique guy myself, and sometimes a little Turkish Lakia. But man, it's hard to go wrong with the
No,
real.
I literally have the leaves, whole leaves. Just
I've got a
ready to go.
friend who processes them for me, and I occasionally dabble in doing my own pipe blends when I have enough tobacco to do it.
That's sick.
Do you have a pipe?
I've got a whole set of them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pipe life.
Pipe life. Dude,
man, that's
honestly,
funny.
can I just say this? It's cut me off of, I don't need tobacco anymore at all. I only smoke it when I want to, and it's maybe once or twice a week now. Like I got over the initial
Like the
hit
nicotine
of-
addiction.
Yeah, because all the years of vaping that I did, dude. Like
that's exactly. Dude, I'm stuck on the
as
fucking
soon
vapes.
as soon as I got onto the tobacco, I was sucking that shit pretty hard, like almost basically every
Yeah,
night.
every
in the
single
beginning.
show we were
In
doing,
the
you were puffing
beginning-
at that pipe nonstop.
Yeah, and in the beginning, it was like 3 times a day, and now, dude, I could go a week and not even give a shit, not even.
So it's
notice.
just killed the
Yeah.
cravings, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I've got all these. I've got all this tobacco now. I'm like, I'm gonna go through it eventually, probably,
Pipe
but also I might just
Eventually.
save it for bartering. For bullets.
Yeah, but you'll
What
need
you've
it for
lost the
bartering at
craving
some
for
point.
is that nice poisons and stuff I used to apply to the Kentucky burley every summer while we were growing it up.
Yeah,
Oh, no-
no, that's what you got to do. You got to be careful with the way you source that stuff.
Yes.
It's not the tobacco that's killing anyone or the tobacco that's giving them cancer. It's the everything that gets put on them and in it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Shout out to Danny Warbucks. I think that dude grows his own tobacco also.
He grows
a little bit of it,
everything.
yeah.
A little bit of everything, but
It's
yeah.
labor intensive.
Yeah, man, that dude legit.
Oh yeah. Steaky Bob posted his pipe in the chats. Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Stinky Bob got a pipe.
Fuck yeah, dude. We got a pipe squad around
Dude, I
here.
used to call my dad one of the last Mohicans because I thought he was like one of the last motherfuckers on the planet.
I think show title might have to be Pipe Squad.
Pipe Squad. That has a lot of good meanings.
Yeah, it does.
Pipe Squad.
Pipe Squad.
Here's a mistake. Just one big pipe squad. Absolutely.
Just
Pipe
laying
Squad.
pipe.
If we go back to live fairs, Kentucky still has a pipe smoking. What they give you is a bowl.
What?
And the one that can keep it going the longest is the winner.
Oh, no
Challenge
shit, it's a pipe
accepted.
smoking.
Oh,
Challenge
shit.
accepted.
Yes.
Pipe smoking competition.
It's one of the highlights of the state fair here. every
Oh
year.
yeah, that sounds awesome.
Right
Damn.
before they sell the country ham, it wins.
Just one draw every 32 minutes, or every 33
God
minutes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shit, Jerry, who you got on Knox Vente tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night we have a full moon, so we got the obelisk.
Beautiful.
And our guest is Phoenix Aurelius, master of spagyrics and alchemy.
Wow, sounds pretty sick.
Speaking of moons,
title.
man, this lady at this drugstore I stopped by to get some cat food today, she mentioned to me, man, today's crazy. Wait, is it a full moon? I'm like, you know it.
You know it. Hell yeah. The
you
perfect
know it, dude.
conversation.
Oh man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dexter, you want to plug your stuff one more time before we get out of here?
Yeah, I would love to. The main venue is find the podcast that I co-host on at thegaslighthour.libsyn.com. Add it to your feeds. Find us everywhere you find
on my feed.
podcasts. Thank you. And my primary social media venue, not the only one, but the place you'll find me the most is on Twitter at DogmanRespecter.
At Dogman Respecter. It's a good follow. It's a good follow. That's why he's on the show. That's
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Dude, thank you so much.
Yeah, dude, this has been good.
Guys,
so
thank you
much.
so much for
Yeah.
having me. This was
Dude,
a blast.
Anytime, man. We honestly, this is like we have an open door policy. Any Tuesday, the Zoom link's the same. If you feel like getting some shit off your chest, show up here. You have a space to rant anytime.
It's platform.
Any Tuesday night,
be careful
same time.
what you wish for.
Dude,
then,
it's
huh?
cool. It's cool. I mean, look at
Hey,
this.
man.
This is how we got the round table we have now.
That's
Like,
right.
That's what
We
happens.
get like 15 people that show up on a
Hell
regular.
yeah. Hell
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's a blast, man.
Cool.
I'm glad you're on board, dude. That's awesome.
Definitely.
Thanks
Good
for
times.
coming on, man.
Yeah, again, thank you for having me. This has been fantastic.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, yeah, we'll catch you. Subscribe to Cruise with Steak or patreon.com/Cruise with Steak, or you can send us a one-time donation if you want. cruisewithsteak.com/donate. That would be sick as fuck.
You can tell us to fuck off at grimsteak
Or yeah,
at
grimsteak@gmail.com. Send us a hate mail. Otherwise, we'll see you on Patreon for you beautiful subscribers, or we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Shonendump.com.
Shonendump.com. Oh yeah, fuck yeah, Shonendump.com. Goodbye.
I hear my soulmate whistling like a tea kettle, playing that seductive game, running through the meadow, amongst the flower petals, amongst the flower petals. She likes to swing on the swing set, singing 90s hit songs, 90s hit songs. How do you unfold your music? Have you got a computer synced up to an auto-tuner? Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. I got psychedelic in the summer. Man, it was a bummer when the leaves turn black, when the leaves turn black, when the leaves turn black. I tried to reach you, but my limbs were broken, but my limbs were broken. How do you unfold your music? Have you got a computer synced up to an auto-tuner? Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. Like a light at the end of a tunnel, I hear my soulmate whistling like a tea kettle, playing that seductive game, running through the meadow, amongst the flower petals, amongst the flower petals. She likes to swing on the swing set, singing 90s hit songs, 90s hit songs. How do you unfold your music? Have you got a computer synced up to an auto-tuner? Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. How do you unfold your music? Have you got a computer synced up to an auto-tuner? Oh, woo-hoo-hoo.